Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Local sport is the winner in the knife-edge seat of Bass, with the Liberals finally promising to fund upgrades to a popular soccer complex 6 weeks after Labor made the same commitment. But Labor has been caught out trying to repackage old announcements.
NTFA clubs are set for a cash windfall if Labor wins power. The only problem with today's announcement was everything had already been announced. Promises of new lights at Georgetown, Hillwood, Bridgenorth, Bridport and Scottsdale's ovals, along with funding for Rochelee's club rooms, were rolled out over the past month.
It's been fantastic for me to attend trainings and listen to the players about what these promises will actually deliver.
The Liberals were late to the party as well, promising to pump $1 million into local sporting infrastructure, including the Churchill Park Sports Complex, well over a month after Labor made the same commitment.
We're really focused on investing in grassroots football. As you know, I've made a lot about the Labor Party spending $25 million to take an AFL team to Hobart.
We'll probably see Bill Shorten in Bass this week.
Watch this space.
For the first time this election campaign, the closest he's been so far is Western Junction, but that's in Lyons, and an announcement for a new mental health hub in Launceston was made before the election was called.
He has a commitment to Bass. He came within 2 days of Parliament rising.
While the Liberals are making us wait for what's next as we approach full time.
We're strong supporters of grassroots sport here in Northern Tasmania and have more to say in the coming days.
With money?
Possibly with money.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Protesters have gathered in Hobart, calling for tougher laws when it comes to development within Tasmania's Wilderness World Heritage Area. Ahead of next Saturday's federal election, the protesters say legislation should be strengthened to include more public consultation and environmental protections. The group Fishers and Walkers Against Helicopter Access was behind the rally, motivated by a proposed luxury camp at Lake Malvina.
We have one of the best natural wildernesses in the world, and it would be a real shame to overdevelop them to the point that they become no longer unique and people don't want to travel here.
The developers behind the Central Highlands proposal did not wish to comment. It's been 1 year since Tasmania's $100 million flood event, which devastated dozens of homes and businesses. Impacted communities coming together today to celebrate 12 months of resilience and recovery.
A day of music, creativity and reflection. 1 year ago, many of the residents here were caught in the middle of Hobart's devastating May floods. A catastrophe which saw roofs torn off homes, rivers bursting their banks and debris littered far and wide.
I don't think anyone could have anticipated that that water could be that full on. It's the kind of thing you see on the TV that happens elsewhere. To see it in your own neighbourhood was I think it was quite full on.
But today was about celebrating a community filled with strength and resilience. From creative recovery workshops to shared memories. For many, like Penny Wells, it was a long road to recovery. Her sodden Kingston home taking 5 months to repair after the terrifying downpour left a wall of water streaming into her house.
It came through the cracks around the door and under the door and flooded the living space of the house. So we were hiding in a downstairs bedroom because the noise was so horrendous.
This was the aftermath, similar to hundreds of homes caught up in the path of destruction.
It had to be painted, it had to be plaster fixed and 3 doors replaced and a lot of floor coverings redone, a lot of drying out.
But Penny feels lucky knowing things could have been much worse.
It's annoying and tiring and difficult, but then, you look at people who are so much worse off and you count your lucky stars.
Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
An award-winning Tasmanian photographer has sought to capture a positive view of masculinity in a new exhibition at QV Mag. More than 40 images are on display, along with personal stories from men grappling the highs and lows of their lives, in the hope it will challenge negative stereotypes.
If all this emphasis is on what men are capable of in darker capacity, then are we just going to be left with a mistrust and a fear around men, which is not really going to serve the wider community?
Men with Heart is on display until late August.
In the TSL, Lauderdale has suffered its first defeat of the season against an undermanned Glenorchy at KG5 this afternoon. In a seesawing contest, it was Tyler Bowden lighting up the crowd. He couldn't miss as the Pies snuck home.
Glenorchy were the early bolters, Adam Roberts kicking the first, and despite a Phil Bell-Chambers reply, the Pies looked set. Tyler Bowden with all the skills as he bent bananas.
And it's all good. Glenorchy get there second.
The ladder leaders soon steadied courtesy of Bryce Walsh before Ben McGuinness's boot put them in front. But a late snap from Ben Camerick kept the hosts within 2 points.
Is it good? It's high. It's a goal.
If the first term was a shootout, the second was an arm wrestle. No left boot, no worries for the bullocking Bowden.
On the outside of the boot, Bowden. No, not Jay.
Just 3 goals in total for the term, Lauderdale with a 10-point buffer at the main break. McGuinness continued to dominate in the third before Callan Daly opened his bag of tricks. The Pies inspired as Jay Bowden and Giacomo Malucci combined and momentum swung. A second from Daly setting up a 10-point lead as they turned for home. This heavy knock ended Alex Heavy's afternoon, his departure failing to inspire the Bombers. Another thriller at KG5, the Magpies home by 11 points. At UTAS Stadium, North Launceston struggled to shake off a persistent North Hobart. Colin Garland keeping the Demons in the contest all afternoon. Brad Cox-Goodyear also adding to the highlights reel whenever the visitors threatened. By the final term, it was game on as Garland slotted his 7th. It was a massive scare for the Northern Bombers as the visitors eventually hit the lead. Experience finally shining through, but the siren couldn't come soon enough. The hosts holding on by 11, heartbreak for the league's cellar dwellers. Andrew McCarthy, 7 Tasmania News.
Tarona's Lacko Seljack Cup dream has come to an abrupt end after South Hobart ran riot at Kelvedon Park this afternoon. The host defended gallantly in the early stages until Farrell headed one home in the 41st minute. The score moved to 2-0 when Van Dorn weaved his magic, and from there the floodgates opened. South Hobart eventually moving into the Cup's final 4 with a convincing 5-0 win. And Tasmanian horse EastEnder has finally made his interstate debut after being controversially scratched from the Adelaide Cup in March. But the gelding failed to place at today's Grunt Handicap at Caulfield. Trainer Barry Campbell will front stewards on May 21 to answer allegations surrounding EastEnder's race day treatment at the Adelaide Cup.
Good evening. A lovely sunny day in Launceston today, reaching the state's high of 18 degrees. Hobart and Burnie 16, 17 in Devonport. St Helens and Friendly Beaches 17 today, 16 on King and Flinders Island as well as Low Head. Smithton, Grove, Ouse and Strawn 15, Lyweenia high of 8 degrees. Here we see cloud over the west and south with patches of cloud over the rest of the state. That mid to low level cloud seen over Tasmania is also extending over Victoria, New South Wales and southern South Australia. Areas of mid to high level clouds sit over the top end, while the remainder of the country is mostly cloud free. Tomorrow a high pressure system is over South Australia, moving over New South Wales through the day. A trough is along the west coast of WA and another over northern Queensland. West to southwesterly winds 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots during the morning, tending west to northwesterly in the evening, seas 2 to 3 metres. A strong wind warning is current for western and northern coastal waters from Low Rocky Point to St Helens Point, and a strong wind warning for southeastern coastal waters from Tasman Island to Southeast Cape. A morning shower or two tomorrow in Hobart, 15, 16 at Richmond, Ouse 14, showers easing. A mostly sunny day in Launceston, 17, 17 in Devonport with a possible early shower, 14 in Deloraine. 16 and a shower or two for Burnie, showers in Strawn, 15, Curry, showers and 16. St Helens, 18, mostly sunny there, 16 and a possible early shower for Swansea, Whitemark 17. Monday, showers about the west and north, extending statewide during the morning. Tuesday, showers contracting to the west and far south in the morning. Wednesday, showers about the west, far south and central districts, fine elsewhere. Mostly sunny conditions for the mainland tomorrow, apart from a possible shower for Adelaide. Currently in Hobart it's 13 and partly cloudy, Launceston 12 and partly cloudy, Devonport 12 and mostly clear. And Rachel, I hope your boys spoil you tomorrow for Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you. They normally look after me pretty well. Thanks for that, Carmen. You too. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Good night.